Hello, everybody. So, in my last video, near the end, I mentioned something about how relatable do the characters have to be in Resident Evil. Because in the latest years, they have tried to make them more relatable. If you think about it, especially with Leon, they try to make him more, I don't know, traumatized, like a veteran with PTSD. They've tried to turn him into something like that clearly he wasn't before. And the same thing with the other characters. Like for example, Ethan was sold like an average Joe, and so on. Even Claire, like she was definitely more akin to an average college girl in the remakes. Like at least in the way she acted, in the way she talked. So in that sense, they were more relatable, mostly Leon and Claire. But I don't think honestly it's what makes good characters. Like good characters don't have to be relatable to be good characters, because in the previous games, like in the old way of storytelling of when it comes to Resident Evil, the characters were mostly sold like average people. At least Leon and Claire were sold like average people, because Chris and Jill were clearly like trained soldiers from the beginning. The game even tells you like Stars is a special unit. But starting with the second game, they try to sell you on the idea of Leon and Claire being average people, but were they really average people? Claire clearly wasn't just an average girl, and Leon as well. Like, yeah, he was a rookie cop, but if he survived Dragon City, he clearly was more than just an average cop. So, and I think that speaks volumes, in the sense that the characters in the old Resident Evil games didn't really need to be relatable in any way, for the most part. At least for the most part, they were just likable. They didn't need to pander to a specific type of audience. Like Leon became the most beloved character just being Leon. Like Leon from 2 and Leon from 4. Was he relatable, like in terms of personality, uh, through the way he spoke, through the way he acted? Not really. It was just cool. He was just he was just a likable character. He was funny. He was you felt sympathetic towards him because of what he had gone through. Same with Claire. So like I don't think the making the characters like more like average people, at least in the way they speak and the way they act, does anything. Because if a character is beloved, it's because he's a like he's a well written, charming, funny, likable character. And that's the biggest misunderstanding, probably, in terms of characters in the latest years from the Resident Evil team, from the modern Resident Evil team. Because are you really gonna tell me that modern Leon is more likable than old Leon? I don't think it is. Honestly, like if you really go in depth and compare them, it's not a contest. It's not really a contest. And this reconnects to my general sentiment when it comes to the series, because I think one of the biggest problems in the modern games is that they have abandoned the old way of telling their stories, like writing their characters. Because before Resident Evil, like it's pretty. I'm gonna pretty much repeat what I said, like make a short version of what I said in my 2-hour video, when I say that Resident Evil lost its identity, because it all connects together. The fact that they changed the style of writing to a more Western type of influence hurt the series a lot, because Resident Evil was before, like, the charm it had was like the Western horror tropes, like zombies, zombie apocalypses, like monsters, whatever, um, seen through the lens of the Japanese. Like, it was a game about horror, Western horror, but just written by Japanese people, which is kind of the same as Castlevania if you think about it. Like Castlevania, what was special about Castlevania? Castlevania was good in my opinion because it was horror, monster horror films, like lore, creatures, uh, written by Japanese people. Like, it was the Japanese take on something created by Western people, and that's what made them unique. Castlevania, Resident Evil, that's what made this series special back in the 90s, I think, at least for me. And if you just take these games and give them to, I don't know, to a Western studio, or you try to pander more to Westerners, they start losing their identity, and even the characters become just shallow copies of what they were before. They start to feel more like Western characters. Like, the appeal in the stories when it comes to Resident Evil for me was that they had this Japanese drama feel to it. Like, the characters didn't speak like they were on the streets, like, I don't know, or American streets, like, oh, yo, bro, what's going on, bro? Like, no, they don't speak like, they spoke formally, like, how you will see, for example, what you will see, for example, in a drama, or in a Korean drama, in a Japanese drama, whatever, in a theatrical spectacle. They spoke not like your average people. They didn't really act like your average people, because even Claire, like, she's a college girl, but she's probably the most mature college girl you'll ever see. Like, probably a college girl that mature doesn't exist in this day and age. Like, absolutely. Claire is Claire is a good and bad character at the same time, because it gives you a wrong idea of what a college girl is like. But I also think she's a very good character, at least the old Claire, because she's just good. She's likable. She just she's a good character, funny, charming. What are you gonna say? She's all that, and the same is Leon. They are likable not because they are relatable, but because they are good characters, well written, well designed, charming characters. So trying to make the characters relatable to the average Joe just doesn't work. Like, trying to make the dialogues same thing as Last of Us, I don't know, as every other Western modern game, it just doesn't work, because it makes the games lose their identity. Like, Resident Evil 2 was good, Code Veronica was like the story. I mean, what are you gonna say? Code Veronica has a damn good story. Honestly, it was really hard to follow up on Resident Evil 2. Probably one of the hardest things you can master, and the writer managed. The writer managed to pull up a story that's rivaling and probably even more complex in some ways than Resident Evil 2. Noboru Sujimura was a damn good writer, honestly, for what he did in Resident Evil 2 and Code Veronica, because he managed to write something even more interesting than Resident Evil 2 in some aspects, and it wasn't easy to do that, because if you look at all the good games, how many good games have a not so good follow up, especially in terms of story? A lot. the shortcomings in Code Veronica are coming from the game itself, like the gameplay. There are some things that don't work in Code Veronica, but the story, the setting is damn good, in my opinion. So, like I said, like, yeah, let's recap everything. Resident Evil lost its identity, yes. It doesn't feel the same as it used to be. And at this point, it just feels like a shallow Last of Us, not really rip-off, but it's clearly being inspired by Last of Us and all other Western horror games. Like the Western influence is too strong to deny at this point, and I think the series doesn't feel like that anymore, like the old games anymore, because of that. Because the everything has changed, the style of writing has changed, the characters have changed. It doesn't feel like a Japanese drama anymore. It feels like any other AAA game written in the same way. Watch your back, focus, all that kind of crap, all that kind of gibberish of dialogue that you've heard a million times, honestly. So, and this probably should have gone in the Code Veronica video, but I'll probably repeat all these concepts in the Code Veronica video. But I just wanted to reiterate what I think about the characters, because making the characters more relatable doesn't turn them in better characters. It just makes them less interesting, in my opinion. Resident Evil was never about how are we gonna make Leon more relatable to the average Joe. No, the average Joe wanted to be Leon, wanted to be like Leon because Leon was cool. That's my take on it. That's how I felt about Leon back in the day. And it's the same with all the characters. Like, you can make a new character that's more relatable, yes, but don't do that to the old characters, in my opinion, because it cheapens them. It removes what made them special. But yeah, like I said, you guys let me know your thoughts, and I'll catch you in the next video, which I don't know, probably will be a Code Veronica video. We'll see. But yeah, have fun. See you soon. Bye bye.